I was watching the first four movies,
Oh yeah,
and I think I've got an idea that's pretty little controversial.
what's that?
I don't think Jason died in the first prelude. Now
Uh,
I'm not going to go on the
Wait,
whole
what?
notion of he you know he lived out in the wilderness and all of that. No, my thought is so. Yeah, they realized he was missing. They saw him in the lake. His he like some he went missing, but like he drifted off to like a little like stream or lake. And they let Pamela leave because she's distraught. Her kid's now possibly dead. So she's went to find his body. Yeah, he was just washed up on the side. Close to deadish, and she basically took him home and used the whole. It's easier to say, yeah, my kid is dead because since one, they couldn't find the body. She snapped at that point.
Wait. Okay, so she took him home, and throughout the years has raised him. He's been raised
Yeah,
there.
but she's sort
Uh,
of. Yeah, I mean, I know it doesn't quite hold up.
I mean, there's a reason you thought it. What's the reason?
Well,
Was there something you saw in one of the movies?
well, no, it was just I was just there. I think because I was watching the second one, and
Mm-hmm.
it was like, well, I think by that time, he probably was, they lived in a backwood town. He probably knew, knew how to had like a general how to survive.
Well, yeah. She was feeding him fucking beef and steroids,
Yeah,
getting those gains going.
yeah. But no, I think for at least the first, between the first and second, he never died, but Pamela was sort of psychotic about it. She did what she did.
Okay. So, what's the default story? That he's sort of like a zombie?
Well, it's like
Is that what the story has been?
that's
Or
at
what
least I think
everyone?
he drowned in Crystal Lake,
Yeah.
and then his mom went on the I think it was at least a 3 or 4 year rampage against Crystal Lake. That's all. That's not on the and then the following years, anytime she heard they were going to reopen it, she sabotaged them.
Mm.
Because if you remember the first one, they talk about there was how one year the lake, the water was contaminated. She was preemptive, but for some odd reasoning, when Friday the 13th one comes around, um, the owner basically got the okay, well we'll open it for you as long but you're doing it all by yourself. We're not going to hire and maybe for yeah, like I said, it's not a fully thought, but it's like, but no, I'm coming to believe he never did die.
Well, I kind of like it. No, that's cool. I like that because you want to know why? Because
Well,
if he was an undead, yeah, but he grew up,
yeah,
and it kind of seems like in the second one, he's not like an undead dude. He's like just
yeah,
crazy hillbilly.
yeah.
But then, but then something happens. Some sort of magical
I
thing
mean,
happens, and he
he
comes
has
back.
the that Michael Myers. He can get he got you know he took all this like physical damage. Yeah, maybe like he got fed steroids and all that shit. And so it was like he had a high threshold of pain.
Oh yeah.
Because I mean, even like in number three, like he gets the reason he didn't die. because one, he had the hockey mask, and the action didn't go all the way in. It just it essentially just knocked him out. It wasn't until Corey Feldman, literally chopped his head into pieces, where we got the zombie Jason.
I got you.
Yeah.
Sure. No, you should. You should write a blog.
I need to find the if there's a. I'm pretty sure there's a website that deals with it.
Well, you can always go to the Reddit. Put a post on there.
Yeah.
If you want to get your life sucked away. All right, we're ready to rock this.
Yep.
Let's go.
Yep. So, our episode today on Two Cousins Talk.
Oh, we're live?
Yeah.
Oh. Have we been live?
Yep.
Oh, well, fuck.
Well, I like do that little small talk before.
Can we talk about how those fucking animatronics gave each other the
And stuff.
side eyes in that movie? Yeah, they're always just like,
Cool. All right, well, hello, all you boys and ghouls.
Yep.
Welcome to the Halloween episode
Yep.
of two ghoulish cousins talk.
Yep. And our episode is Tales from the Crypt versus Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Versus begin battle, epic battle of history.
I didn't know how to properly label it.
Well, I mean, because that's the funny thing, right? Is that See, this episode was supposed to air last year, ended up not happening
because of family emergencies and all that. And unfortunately, I think it was just it was also we were being a little bit what's the word we weren't doing it continuously, so it's like, oh.
Well, yeah, it was the first little bit. That's all. Yeah,
Yep.
we just weren't able to get to it. We figured we'd just wait another year for the October.
Yep.
So we're here now. But like the show itself, yeah, it's a little more. The framework is a little more solid than what we have been doing.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, it is kind of a versus a little bit. I think the ultimate question was we sort of were jokingly being like, which one's scarier?
Yeah. What?
Or which one had more of an impact or something like that, like.
Yeah. And it was like, yeah, it was brought up as what was led to being more scarier, and I think it was like my opinion was one way, and I think even throughout the year, because it would pop in once in a while in my head. I think it changed.
Oh.
But now it's like I think it's like 75-25 one way.
Yeah. Well, my opinion definitely it didn't really change per se, but it definitely my feelings on like the comparison of the two is that's definitely changed.
Yeah.
Because, well, I mean, I suppose we can sort of give a cursory answer, right? It's kind of because it's like thinking back on it, I'm like, man, why didn't we do Tales? Or Are You Afraid of the Dark versus Goosebumps?
See, that was always a small problem I had with it because they are, the one is made by a premium cable company, and the other one was made by a children's company.
Yeah, it was Nickelodeon, right?
Yeah.
That did Are You Afraid of the Dark? Yeah. Okay. So yeah, no, but I had thought that for a bit, and I was like, but here's the thing. Here's what's changed for me, is having finished all of the ones that we watched, m- the difference between Are You Afraid of the Dark and Tales from the Crypt is a lot smaller than what I originally thought it was.
Okay.
Despite being on a premium channel with like backing from like major people in Hollywood, Tales from the Crypt is pretty fucking campy and pretty. It's closer to Are You Afraid of the Dark
Yeah.
than I originally thought.
Well, years ago on VH1, they did I love the '80s, I love the '90s, and one of the things they talked about was Are You Afraid? Tales from the Crypt, and they had a bunch of comedians there talk about it, and one of the I think it was Ian Black, one of the guys from the
Oh
the
yeah,
State. I think it was the State.
yeah.
And
I started a joke. Yeah.
he made it. It's like he starts off with a sort of a pun, but then ends with another pun. And it's like, okay, that's pretty campy. I mean, okay, well, should we just say which one do you think was more scarier?
Oh, well, that's easy. That's never changed. Tales from the Crypt. It's definitely is actually scary from my 12-year-old perspective. Are You Afraid of the Dark was never that scary. Tales from the Crypt at certain points back in the day when it was on HBO, when I was still a young lad in the early 90s. Like, I remember, like, waking up at night when I was during my sleeping on the couch in the living room phase. And it'd be on. My dad would have it on HBO, and they'd have, like, this thing going. And I wake up, there's Crypt Keeper. Yeah, it's pretty fucking scary.
Yeah.
So I can still say that, is that, yeah, the Crypt Keeper, like, even just the Crypt Keeper part itself, it's awesome design, awesome setting, cool music. Like, there was something, and like the intro bit with the camera,
Yeah.
like all that shit was just cool.
Well, I remember.
It is campy though.
Yeah. Well, I remember us on, like, I think it was like it would show on Saturday nights, and when you would stay at my place and we had it, we would sit up at the front of the television. We were act like, yeah, we're running down the stairs.
Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, it's awesome.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean that's my answer. If we want to have that question, yeah, Tales from the Crypt, hands down. What about you?
Mine actually is Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Oh my god.
And the reason is, again, I'm trying to go back through my, 12, 13-year-old mind. Tales from Are You Afraid of the Dark were more morality tales. I mean, yes, Tales from the Crypt were too. You do this, you're going to get boned. But so that's the problem with I had with well, I didn't have a problem with it, but with Tales from the Crypt was this guy's a bad guy. He does stuff, and at the end he either dies or is in a permanent and unending limbo of hurt. But in Tales from expect a lot of flubs on my end. Are You Afraid of the Dark? It was it was all kids.
It was, yeah.
Kids are like the one of my episodes I liked are Smiling in the Dark. Shit, now kids, even adults, I'll say even adults are afraid of clowns. And it told the morality of this kid basically stealing the nose and all that, and he was being a bully about it, because he won the bet, but because he essentially stole property. I mean, we could have had a whole killing clown. Oh, you stole my nose, but But no, he essentially almost like a little bit psychologically tortured this kid, and this kid's like, okay, well, I'll pay back. Here's your nose. Here are your cigars you like. We're square.
Yeah. Well, so what I think I understand what you're saying, because like every episode of Are You Afraid of the Dark was kid centric.
Yeah.
The kids were always protagonists, and so from like us sort of feeling represented by the protagonists in a way we couldn't have with Tales from the Crypt, and like they had to pull their punches with Are You Afraid of the Dark, of course.
Yeah.
In terms of the horror and all that stuff, but yeah, you're right, because it's more about that. There's a moral level up at the end of every of those episodes, and something that we would relate to a bit more with than possibly from Tales from the Crypt, more impact for us in some ways than with Tales from the Crypt. Which
there are
I can
episodes
agree with that.
Are You Afraid of the Dark where he kind of learns his lesson, but yet they're still stuck in that, like an unending loop of it. So he's
yeah! Spoiler alert. That's my favorite episode.
Yep.
No, I can feel that. Yes, and especially with the top rated episode of Are You Afraid of the Dark is definitely kind of a.
See, I had a problem with that being such top-rated episode.
Well, we'll talk. Well, yeah. Well, no, we'll talk about it. It is kind of weird, but it's also kind of There's something impactful about it.
Yeah.
In a way, probably because it's about people that were our age.
Yeah.
It's like an adult story, but they're like, let's just put 12-year-olds in there. 12-year-olds finding true love, and you're like, nowadays we're like, what? That's that's ridiculous. Yeah. But back then, that wasn't ridiculous. Back then, we're like, we find true love, battle of the demonic clown hordes. Yeah, of course.
Yep.
Oh man. All right. Well, hey, entertain the kids for 1 second while I get a beer.
All right.
I'm drinking the Night Owl Elysian Pumpkin Ale for the season. Happy Halloween, everybody. Happy fall.
Unfortunately, I'm not prepared. I'm drinking all-natural lemonade from Wendy's.
Oh. Wendy's, the true clown girl.
Yep. Okay, so... Yes, but no, but to, one of my favorite type of watches, like in horror, are the anthologies, because they do have a sense of all moralities and stuff. To me, some of the best horror ones, in my opinion, were anthology tales. The Trick or Treat, I think it was called Happy Halloween. The Tales from the British Tales from the Crypt and Tales from the Vault episodes. I love those because one, it's like it doesn't drag on forever. Because it doesn't drag on forever. It's quick. Maybe 20 minutes. They had 4 little mini episodes in these movies. 20 minutes, perfect. And plus, you gotta love the British acting in it. Excuse me.
Oh, for God's sakes, Twitch. I have to log in. I don't know my login. All right. Well, hey, Phil, how do you want to do this? I was thinking we could do. So, okay, folks. I mean, this is what we did. We came up with this a year ago.
Yeah.
And tell me if I'm wrong, Phil. But I kept it. Tell me if you did the same. So we both watched at least 3 episodes of each.
Yeah.
1, the pilot of each series.
Yep.
2, the top rated according to IMDb.
Yep.
Of each series. And then 3, Jesus Christ. 3, our personal favorite. Our PF.
I think we
and then maybe a couple others.
I think we should do the pilot episode for each, followed by the top, and with our last.
Cool. And and do you think maybe we should just talk about both episodes of those succinct categories?
Yeah.
Just kind of compare and contrast at the same time. I think we could do that. What do you think?
Yeah.
Because
You two are an item.
I mean, I think I think the differences. I think the series are the most different at the very beginning.
Yeah. Well, if we want to start a little bit, I'll do. So I actually had found this out, and this is so the one I'll start off was for the Are You Afraid of the Dark is the premiere episode was the Phantom Tales of the Phantom Cab.
Tales of the Phantom Cab.
And there was a YouTube guy. I think this is sort of what also started in my head to do this. His name it was like Minty Comic, and he did a like a 5 facts of what you didn't know of and I mean,
what didn't we know?
Yeah, what we didn't know. And I mean, I generally did not know this, but a lot of these were Are You Afraid of the Darks were filmed in Canada. A lot of Nickelodeon stuff was filmed in Canada.
Oh yeah.
And he pointed this out, and when I watched it, I'm like, oh my god, they are Canadian. Mm-hmm. But
oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So
what's that? No, that's been in Nickelodeon forever.
Yeah, I mean, one of our favorite shows of all time. You can't do that on television.
Oh my god.
Was Canadian.
So Canadian. It was the most Canadian thing ever made. Actually.
But I didn't know this. It was just like, little skits.
Oh god, we got to do that. We got to do a whole show about how we try to find episodes of that show.
Yeah.
Watch the show. Heavy dissection. Okay, so first episode, Are You Afraid of the Dark? That aired August 15th, 1992. Okay. And that was on Nickelodeon, right?
Yeah.
Like on
I think it was the start of the whole SNCC. It was Nickelodeon. It was okay.
That's a
flashback. It was aiming for the teenage demographic. And I think it was I think Pete and Pete was like one of the opening ones. I think, was it Rugrats and Doug?
Oh, yeah.
And Clarissa Explains It All.
Ren and Stimpy.
Yeah. They had a variety show. I think at least, and I can't, where they did a lot of hip-hop dancing, but I think they were telling tales in that one. But yeah,
wow, that was the that was like the peak years of teenage Nintendo.
Yep.
I mean, well, no, I only say that because those were the years I was a teenager. I guess they probably had some bomb shows after that. I don't know.
I looked it up, and the amount of shows between like when we when we started watching it to when it ended. I think the only one that I think was consistent for the longest time was Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Well, what was it? 7 seasons? Something like that?
I think so.
Well, and that's also a good thing that I realized too, was going back to these series, is like many other series that we've already talked about, is that I watched a goodly amount of like the first 2 seasons.
Yeah.
After that,
I heavily remember like the first 2-3 seasons.
Yeah, we all fell off. We all fell because we got older.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, I got older, and I think by our I can't say our cable company, but it was somewhat like chain did something. That's why we never could finish like the Ninja Turtles you know, the other shows, was because for some reason they couldn't like leave what was working. They're like, oh no, we need to shake things up. We're going to now put this show on Tuesday in the afternoon.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, okay. So yeah, this first episode, this pilot episode, it's kind of funny watching it. It doesn't have the normal intro. It has a different sort of intro because it has to intro the framing structure as well.
Yep.
Which I think they actually had like a couple of like made for TV movies or something before the show started.
If they did, I actually never knew about that.
Because it kind of seems like these characters are already there, but we start with like the kids around the campfire, the gang,
Yep.
the scary story club, and they're putting in a new kid.
Yeah.
That's the framing for this whole thing. Yeah, I mean that's pretty cool. That's kind of a cool way to introduce everybody to how it works.
I mean, it makes you sort of feel like that now. You are as well are joining the group.
Yeah,
And
they may. Oh yeah,
and then their introduction, how they did the by from the Midnight Society, the Tale of, and he throws the. It wasn't until I think I was in that Minty video what the stuff they threw on it to make the fire whoosh. I always wanted to know what that was.
Fairy wings, fucking orphan tears.
Yeah.
In Canada, Canadian orphan tears, Canadian healthcare money.
Well, see, that makes them extra sweet because of all the maple syrup they drink.
Oh yeah.
We
Although,
love
man,
you, Canada.
Well, so the new kid is the one telling this story, and it's a doozy. It's weird, you know, like it's about two brothers. Well, it's called first of all, it's called The Tale of the Phantom Cab, but the cab doesn't even come until like 2/3 into the fucking show.
Yeah.
Like this could be called a tale of getting lost in the forest, tales of fucking the weird dock.
The dock. To me, they that's what Tales from the Crypt. Are You Afraid of the Dark had they at least had a few recurring characters, and this is like one of the
Dr. Vink, dude.
Vink. No, not Vink with a
Vink. Yeah, this dude was cool. The actor's name was Aaron Tager. He wasn't too famous, but he did a lot of shit.
Yeah,
a lot of work, a lot of, and I think that's a lot of people in Are You Afraid of the Dark, and definitely in Tales from the Crypt.
Yeah, no.
But yeah, I don't know. There's so much in this story. It's just Joseph the kid just fucking throwing a bunch of shit together. The two brothers are lost in the woods. They find some weird baseball dude.
Yeah. Yeah, because that was just weird. The way he's just, like nonchalantly, it's like, just walking about, and he's like, well, obviously this seems like this guy maybe knows where he's going. Let's possibly follow him. It's probably a good thing they didn't.
Yeah, don't follow that guy.
Yeah.
That's Pedo Island right there. But he's like, all right, well, here you go, and then now they get to a cottage. It's the cottage from Young Frankenstein, I swear to God.
I won't doubt it.
And then and the dude's name is Flynn, and he rolls out, and shit starts happening.
Yeah.
And at this point, I was like, where's the cab? Where's the Phantom Cab?
Yeah.
There's no cab.
Because you think with the name of something like that, it would be like some type of Christine-esque,
Yeah.
Because honestly, the way I would have, just on, knowing being a horror, it was like, okay, these kids, made the cab driver crash, and like now they're lost, and they're hearing the, this cab had a certain like running of the engine, and they're hearing it every so often. That honestly would have been, to me, been a little bit more, and it'd be like, oh, yeah, we are so sorry we did this. We're just kids playing around. But no, they go to Dr. Vink's house, and it's like this guy has a weird way of it's like took this cab hand, it's like because he failed to get a riddle because he probably didn't want to pay for his cab ride home. At this point, I feel like
he's cheap.
Yeah, I feel like Charlie from the whole Charlie with the strings ever going.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Doctor. He's a character. He does all this weird shit, and that's the thing. Like we spend like all this time in this cottage, and the riddle happens. The younger brother, the older brother, they're like, we don't.
I mean, the older brother,
dude,
could slap him silly.
Oh yeah, well I mean, I'd say the message of this, you gotta siblings stick together.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, they're trying their best, but Fink, he's a real piece of shit. He's like, well, if you don't want to do the riddle, here's a jar, here's a hand in a jar, get out.
Yeah.
They freak out. And so then they finally the cab rolls up in the forest.
Yeah.
It's very strange.
I think this is the pilot episode. I mean, if honestly, I probably would have not greenlit that pilot based on that pilot.
Well, and then they do a weird thing. I don't know. You tell me. This felt like this did not happen a lot in the show, but they pull back to the framing device. They pull back to the kids around the fire telling the story.
No, I think that first season they did it a couple times.
Okay.
Yeah, no, okay. That was like the one thing that when they did do that, it took it took it out of the story. It's like watching Beavis and Butthead in the early years. Yeah. 2 minutes of 4 minutes of episode, 3 minutes of music videos. I realized I really did like the music videos.
Yeah, this band sucks. Play some Crocus. Well, no, but I like the frame device is funny because it's all the kids being like, "You can't have a riddle that you don't answer." It's like, no, you can't do that. And the Joseph, the new kid's like, just give it a second. Do you guys know how stories work? I'll get there. Don't worry about it. Anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, I mean, the last bit of the episode's in the cab. The brothers get in there. Flynn's driving, except he looks a little fucking
ghoulish,
sick. Yeah, peaked. And we realized that he did the same thing with Fink. Fink took his hand,
and then and then he dies.
Yeah, and then he's like, yeah, and then I left. I drove away, but I was so mad. I drove right into a tree, and I'm going to do that again. Here we go.
That's probably one of the best jump scares, though, because you weren't expecting him to turn his head.
Oh, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
And that actor is pretty good. So yeah, they got to figure out the riddle, which the younger brother does. Yeah. He figures it out, and it all ends.
Yeah.
And then
the cop finds him. It's like, oh, your folks were finding you.
Yeah, and they do it. They did it. The brothers love each other, and then then that's it. We roll back to the club gang. Is Frank let in? Is he let in? Feels good.
Yeah,
thumbs up all around. There we go. So as a pilot for Are You Afraid of the Dark, it's pretty bang on.
It set the mood for what because I understand they couldn't go because I think by time this was then like you get Goosebumps. I think that by that time the studios were smarter what they could do. Goosebumps jumped off, leached off the back. My opinion, leached off the back of this type of show. You know.
Well, the thing is that I think this first episode is pretty. Yeah, I think like just as an episode as film, you know, it looks pretty good.
Yeah.
It's got some good cinematography. It just kind of it does exactly what it's supposed to do. It's a good pilot episode, and I remember watching it. I don't know if
So
I watched it the night of.
Yeah,
but-
I don't remember watching it the night. Because I think it was one of those where I was watching during that, and then I think we had to go somewhere, which probably pissed me off. But I remember I seeing it in reruns. Because I remember when they would advertise, and I remember physically going like, okay, I never saw that episode. Never saw that episode. And it wasn't until like when I purchased on Vudu, watching them, I'm like, oh.
I think it's pretty good. It's pretty. It shows it's a good slice of life of what Are You Afraid of the Dark was and continued to be.
It definitely set the tone.
As opposed to, I'll say that pilot episode Tales from the Crypt, June 10th, 1989, before Are You Afraid of the Dark, on HBO.
That sounds about right.
Season 1, Episode 1, The Man Who Was Death. This was interesting to watch. Very different than what the Are You Afraid of the Dark pilot was.
Yeah.
And I will also say pretty different than what Tales from the Crypt becomes.
Yeah. I mean, this is, if I had to like do a top 5 of this, would be, I would pop to say at least would be in that top 5 area.
Oh, of Tales from the Crypt episodes?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Because
I'll agree with you.
Because to me, because to me, it had that premise of this by itself, stretched out, could have been a movie on its own. A guy, because to me, again, they only had so much time. It's like, how did they discover, what it was him.
Oh,
yeah. But yeah, stuff I found out actually about this. So the producers actually, to the guy who was the focal center of the episode, they actually approached Christopher Walken and John Malkovich
to be the main star.
Yeah, of this episode. And it was like, I momentarily had how it would sound with Christopher Walken. Here's a bad Christopher Walken. Oh, shut the hell up, Charlie. You're going to fry.
Executioners, pull the switch. Don't need me. You're found guilty by the state of Illinois.
Yes.
They ended up finding William Sadler.
Yep.
But that's the thing, is that he's a pretty well established, like, sort of character actor. Yeah. And that's the thing with Tales from the Crypt, is that, see, that's the weirdness of it. I found is that, like, yeah, they could get tier A actors to be on the show.
Well, because it was done by like Robert Zemeckis, Richard Donner, and stuff. Already these top tier directors doing it. So it's like, So again, when I approached it, I think it was a little unfair. If Richard Donner was maybe helped with, maybe we could have got a little bit more money in Are You Afraid of the Dark?
But that's the thing, Phil. I agree with you, and I think that shows in this first one. This first one, it's like, yeah, it's got William Sadler, and it's weird. Like the intro is also not totally fleshed out,
Yeah.
and the Crypt Keeper thing, Crypt Keeper voice not totally set in yet. There's not much humor in the prologue
Yeah, no.
with the Crypt Keeper.
I think,
it's just horror.
I think the first 2 episodes, because I think the next, if I remember right, the next one was the Christmas episode.
Oh yeah.
And that one was like, he's straight up. It was like, behind the Santa Claus, no puns. It was just like, but again, I think I was also to help give that, him being a little bit more ghoulish.
Yeah, but it's definitely not like as campy as it was, but it's still kind of fun.
Yeah.
Right. But it's definitely a little more serious. And then the episode itself is just weird because it's a narrated episode by the main character.
Yeah.
And that's super rare. That's like super rare.
Yeah.
So it's definitely totally different than a lot of the other even just Tales from the Crypt episodes.
Yeah, but out of the episodes I've watched, I think that's the only one that sort of, where he's talking to the audience.
And it's about this like dude who he basically does the executions in the state of Illinois, I think.
I always thought it was New York.
Could have been New York. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, no, it was New York.
Kind of a weird. Well, yeah, and it just starts. There's one. He's just one inmate's getting in there, and he's just kind of describing the process. Yeah. I will say this: weird fucking music. In fact, I wrote last year. What the fuck is going on with this music? It's Calliope music.
Yeah.
It's horrible. I don't know what the fuck they're doing.
I think it was supposed to the mindset of the guy being, he's delusional.
Oh, God.
The governor's going to call. The governor's going to call.
I mean, maybe, yeah, sure. It's so weird though. It's so weird.
Because then they do it again, like when he gets set.
True, they do. It's a choice that they made during the walk of the long walk. I guess, but yeah, it really threw me off. I was like, what? What is this? Anyway.
Yeah.
But it's a weird. Yeah, it's a cool episode. It's really well shot. It's like a film noir sort of thing. Like it's very like top tier sort of like filmmaking.
Yeah, and see, like I said, to me, this it could have been its own movie. Part of the movie is we see him executing these people. Another part of the movie is the detective trying to find him.
Oh, I see. I gotcha. Oh yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be sweet.
We'll have to have the Hollywood framework to flesh that out to make it more appeal. Because that was the one thing I definitely always set bad with that episode was when at the one go-go dancer he was going to go to kill, and the police show up.
Yeah.
They could have just one person said, "Well, like someone from his job, like, hey, yeah, Bill, the janitor, saw you walking away from the biker, or the biker guy died." And we've been that's all they had to say. I know it probably wasn't in the initial comic.
Was there a comic of this?
Oh yeah, Tales from the Crypt.
Well, but I mean, like, is it sort of like these are like the first little bits? Like, especially, you would say that especially this episode is from like a comic from back in the day.
Yeah. Hang on.
Oh, okay. Shit, of course it is. Why didn't I think of that? Yeah.
Episodes. Yeah, and the source was from the Crypt of Terror, issue 17.
What year was that?
When did it come out?
Probably like the mid '80s or something like that.
No, I think it was. This is during the. What was the? I think they went out publication back like 1955.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Okay. Well, then then I would say that like okay. Well, it probably wasn't like a recreation of the comic, but it was just based on or like inspired by.
Yeah, because there are episodes like which one? For example, that always the one that takes the funeral part. The one where the cheap the funeral director who was the cheapskate. And he has his nephew come in. Well, his nephew moves in with him.
Yeah.
You know, and you can almost say, you know, even because I've got that comic in a trade form.
Oh, nice.
And it's almost a bit a shot for shot scene. You know, instead in the comic, you know, they were white Americans, where they were in like southern Georgia, you know, black African American people. And,
well, that's cool. I didn't realize.
To me, that made that episode a whole lot better.
Nice. Well, that's the thing. This episode definitely does feel like a comic, like a little comic story. Yeah. Definitely. Yeah, because it's kind of weird. Like we're following the villain or whatever. We're just following this dude. He loses his job because they've decided to get rid of the death. Like they can't find any other work for him.
Yeah, no, so that also angered me. It's like, really?
Because he's probably like a licensed electrician.
Yeah,
he can get a job anywhere.
Yeah. Or, you know, they're like, hey, can this happen? We'll give you early retirement or something.
Yeah, they're just like, sorry, Bill, you can't forget. But all you could do is kill people. We're not killing anybody anymore, so you're on your ass.
Yeah.
So he's like, you know what? They probably did give him some severance pay, though. They probably gave him a little bit of severance pay, and so now he's just chilling. And now he's like, you know what? I see all these psychos.
Yeah, because I think a great thing, again, if this was put in a movie, a montage of him making his kill box.
Oh, sure. Yeah. No, it's cool. Like, yeah, so he's like, I gotta bring justice. So the first one is some biker dude who gets off scot-free.
Yeah, because what happened with Freddy Krueger, someone did not sign in the right place.
Oh my god. And I just realized all of his kills are by electrocution.
Yep.
Holy shit. This is the first time I realized that. Holy shit. Okay, yeah, first guy, electrified fence.
Yep.
Then the second one's a weird yuppie couple.
Yep.
We get a bit of nudity right there.
Yep. The male actor.
Yeah.
Was a guy. Was Charles from Child's Play 2.
Nice.
You know, and he's done a lot of. He's a great actor.
He acted great in this scene because this one, what did he dropped some sort of electrified device into the hot tub.
Yeah.
With the naked couple, and then he has a remote, and he's like, "You're guilty," and she's like, "I had no part of it." And he's like, "Shut up, Cynthia."
It's amazing how quickly they just like turned on each other instead of trying to get out of the said tub and they're like, "Oh no!"
Wait, no, he electrocutes that too, and then he tries to do that to what did the go-go dancer do?
Yeah, that's you know. 3 sentences. That's all they, or 2 sentences. You know, what was she just? Was she like the biker's girlfriend? And it was led. Maybe she was part of it, but he took the fall. We don't know.
Yeah. No, he didn't. Yeah, he was sort of a vigilante. Then he just sort of got crazy. I mean, he was spitting out some crazy red pill shit too.
Yeah.
This shit, he's canceled today.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it doesn't work. And then, yeah, what I wrote a year ago. See, these are notes from a year ago. I wrote, he gets caught. No explanation of how they found him.
Yeah.
But it's not important because it's just from his viewpoint.
Yeah. I mean,
But yeah,
like,
they do just sort of like they find him and it's done.
yeah, no, it could have been something as stupid like, he dropped it, he dropped his wallet, but it was like by that point he could have been out of cash anyhow, so he didn't care. There's that,
Yeah, no, it definitely feels like this is like a comic book. This is like a Zine, short, quick story.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah. Yeah, they find him, and I guess, yeah, this is the big. It's not much of a twist, but they're just like, hey, Bill,
Now he was the executioner. Now he's being the executed.
Yeah, they decided to reinstate the death penalty just for you.
Yeah, and so that it was like we don't know how long he's been doing this. It felt like this is all done within a week. So within that week, they went from getting rid of it. Oh, we made a huge mistake because obviously our prison system is so backed up. We will reinstate it.
Yeah, honestly, the more, now that, since you've said the comic book thing, this definitely feels like a 50s, 60s, like, very quick horror comic book story. Like, the kind I used to read back in the day. No, it's good. Yeah, he's in the chair. It's fucked up. No call from the governor.
Yeah.
Fuck. And he has one good last line. He's like, if a man ain't good at his job, what's he good for? And then he fucking dies. And then the epilogue with the Crypt Keeper is pretty cool. Like, because it's the whole puppet. Yeah. I don't know how many times I did that later, but it's a whole puppet. You can see his whole body with human hands. Because he's in a fucking electrocutioner's chair. Yes. It's awesome. He's still not making any puns or anything, but it's cool. He's like,
Yes, Pull. He was like, all right.
Yeah, it's awesome. And then I don't know. That was the pilot episode, and I think I remember being hyped for Tales from the Crypt even in '89 when I was like 10.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know if I saw it on the day of.
I think because we're also where we live and stuff. I remember having friends who could not watch horror movies, who could not watch rated R movies. We were watching rated R at 5. I remember watching. I've brought this up. We watching Jumpin' Jack Flash.
Oh yeah.
Whoopi Goldberg at her prime. F this, F that.
No, yeah, we didn't have. Yeah, neither of us really had any sort of. I remember watching. Well, did I ever tell you about this?
Huh.
Did I ever tell you this story? I'm sure I must have. But I have a very huge memory when I was like probably like 4 or 5, very early. It was at grandma's house. And we went and I went and rented videos with her and Uncle Willie. He went with us.
All right, instigator right there.
I rented Strawberry Shortcake.
Okay.
Like a little compilation thing. He rented something else. I didn't see what he rented. We went back to the house, Grandma's house, and Willie's friends showed up, the biker friends, and they hung out. And I was like, oh, we're going to watch a movie. And I was like, we're going to watch Strawberry Shortcake. And instead, they put on the movie he rented, which was Carrie.
No, I've never heard.
And so the first scene of that movie is when she gets her period in the bathroom.
And ladies walking back and forth in their birthday suit.
So just imagine me. I'm like 5 years old or some shit. Willie with his fucking his preteen, fucking all this for all the boys, and they're sitting there watching this, and I'm like there, and I thought it was gonna be strawberry shortcake, and I'm like, oh my god. And it goes on for a while, and Carrie's freaking out, so I'm freaking out. I'm like, what the fuck? Grandma comes in, yells at Will and all the boys, and I'm crying, and she stops Carrie, and she puts on strawberry shortcake and makes them watch it with me.
I'm surprised you weren't like that.
Oh,
You were
I was
watch. I'm not
look
watching.
at me. Look at me. I am traumatized. I'm still traumatized to this day. That's I have weird relationship with women because of that watching Carrie at 4 years old. But no.
It was the whole
Anyway.
crazy Carrie.
Yeah. That was very scary, and like I was seeing boobs and shit. I was like, what is going on? Anyway, great time. But no, yeah, we were all subjected to very rated R-esque things as kids.
Yeah. But I know I remember them advertising. And I think it was just because I wish I could go find a trailer that when it showed. I remember it showing the Crypt Keeper prominently, and I'm like, oh, that looked so funny.
Yeah.
Not knowing the history of EC Comics and stuff.
Oh yeah, I don't recall knowing about any of that.
Yeah,
I thought the Crypt Keeper HBO made him.
Yeah. Well, if you want a little bit of there in EC Comics, there is a Crypt Keeper. He does not look. They do not look like what we saw on the HBO show. There was actually three characters. There's the Vault Keeper, the Crypt Keeper, and the Witch. I think maybe there was a fourth.
Oh.
No, I think it was three.
Okay.
And there was Tales from the Crypt, Tales from the Vault, and Tales of Terror.
Oh. Okay.
And that's not including they had Tales of the Western, Tales of Medic, Tales of War, Two-Fisted Tales. A lot of pulp. I would like to get them though.
Nice. Well, I mean, I'll hand it to HBO. The Crypt Keeper is iconic.
Yep.
You know, like that dude is awesome. And they really, I mean, yeah. I think it obviously the puppet obviously changed throughout the years, but even in this first pilot episode, looks good.
Yep.
Looks pretty. It was a little smaller than before, and his hair gets a little more extravagant as the seasons go on.
I think
but
so.
even in this pilot episode, looks fucking great.
It was like, and rumor has it the eyes in the Crypt Keeper were the ones shared with Chucky.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
they were done so well that they didn't make any more. They just used the same ones.
Oh, did you ever remember they did a behind the scenes of Tales from the Crypt hosted by Bobcat Goldthwait?
Yeah, that rings a bell.
I've never seen I've only seen clips of it, but I remember it was like also like it was behind the scenes, but it was also a clip show, like it would show scenes from it, and like the whole time I think Bobcat's trying to find out the secret how they get the Crypt Keeper to work. And like at the end of it, like Crypt Keeper released his this dog monster to go after Bobcat.
Nice.
Fails every time. And like people he's talking to mysteriously just disappeared. He just walks up like, oh, well, I better just go this way. And then you hear the voice of the Crypt Keeper like, damn it, Fluffy. Well, he didn't curse, but like, Fluffy, you got the wrong person.
Yeah. No, that sounds great. Okay, so there were a few guest appearances at the Crypt Keeper's abode.
The most famous one, which he also directed, was Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Well, we'll get into that. We'll get into that a little later. Well, now that we've done the pilot episodes, should we go into the top rated
Okay.
So, according to IMDb, at least, these are the best episodes of these perspective series. And I will. So I was just like, let's just do the one that's top rated. Although for both these series, it's pretty close.
Yeah.
For a lot of them, there's not like the standout winner. But I just went with the one that had the most. And so we want to do Are You Afraid of the Dark first?
Sure.
Well, it's a banger. It's fucking season 3, episode 10, Tale of the Dream Girl.
Yep.
This was March 26th, 94.
Wow.
So I just got into high school. Yeah. And fuck, I think I saw this back in the day, but I cannot be sure.
I remember seeing it, and it was one of those that didn't put a lasting memory in me, but it was by that time it was just habit. You know, at least by 10:30. You know, I think I stopped. You know, didn't watch. You know, the other four. It was like 10. You know, 10, 9, 10:30 Friday. Are You Afraid of the Dark? Are You Afraid of the Dark? And
I got you. Well, yeah, no, well, yeah, I watched it. Like, I feel like I saw it because, like, the episode itself, I think, has a pretty good twist.
Yeah,
pretty good.
Well, it's one of those that you know. You could almost see, but it's like, again, like it's also the same with the Sixth Sense. If you didn't, you know, I met people who saw the Sixth Sense. You know, right after that opening scene, they knew immediately.
What? Who are these people? I don't believe them. They're just saying shit. They're just talking shit.
Well, that's what they claim.
Well, no, and you know it's funny. So this one, yeah, you know we have the framework, the gang. They're just hanging out. This is what they do every what? They get together every Thursday, Friday night, weekend.
Yeah. So that's always I thought was funny about the open. It's like they put this huge emphasis on it. They show up. You know, possibly, you know, could have been realized like a 10-minute tale, but again, it's like in show it's 30 minutes, and then leave. It's like I traveled half an hour to get here for 10, you know, I want to say 10 minutes just because it to me sounds cornier. Then leave. It's like, no, come on, we need 4 or 5 tales here. I ain't wasted my time.
Well, it's not. Yeah, it's not even that. They even said in the pilot episode they come from different schools, so it's all around town.
Okay.
And they all go to the forest. They're in the or a park.
Yeah.
Where they can burn wood.
Yep.
So it's got to be like, it's got to be a little out there, outside city limits, maybe.
Yeah.
Or they just found a park somewhere in the city limits.
I like the event, you know. Okay, this is also Washington. I think there is a lore behind it. Now, there was a reboot of the series where they tried to put them telling these tales is sort of to ward off a bigger boogie. Like, it satisfies those ghosts, a bigger boogeyman. I like that idea. And, like, these kids are, you know, you have to have, like, rules is you have to have this many. And you have to at least tell, you know, it doesn't have to be a great tale, but you have to tell a tale to satiate.
Man, this is cabin in the woods shit.
I know.
Going into right here, dude. This is to satiate the old ones.
Yeah.
Well, I hope that Gary and Tucker and Kiki and all of it feels like they're successful because we're still here. So good job,
yeah.
Midnight Society.
Yeah, because in the reboot, Gary, the nerdier looking kid, apparently comes back and he's like, yeah, no, my friends were subjected, like because the way it made it sound, they were subjected to do this.
Amazing. That's awesome. That's so awesome.
And and so then the blonde girl became his girlfriend, I think then wife in this reboot.
Oh, they got married.
Yeah.
Well, that's fun.
But it sounds like the rest of all the other ones disappear mysteriously.
Oh shit. Okay.
And I love the cover of the reboot. The guy who's the like villain has a look of was like Matt Smith of Doctor Who fame. So yeah, sorry for the little tangent.
No, that's great context. I love it. Like I mean, that makes everything different.
Yeah.
that makes of their little club a desperate affair.
Yeah.
Of keeping away the old ones. Jesus, I thought they were
Cthulhu needs a tail before he goes to sleep.
I thought they were just having excuses so boys and girls can get together and make out. But I guess not. They were saving us all. All right, so yeah, this one's a little, it's fun. I think it's one of the girls who does this one. And she's like, it's scary, true love.
Yeah, I think so.
It's like, oh.
Yeah,
okay.
because immediately she says that, the guys are like,
Well, yeah, but no, this tale, it's also about siblings, a brother and a sister.
Yeah.
Who work at the Bolorama. That's awesome.
I think probably also I think why because at that time I think we stopped bowling because we were bowling fanatics.
We had probably stopped by 94.
Yeah,
I think. I mean, because I was in high school by then.
Yeah, but we were I think we were bowling fanatics, so it's like yeah. Bolorama.
Oh yeah, no, it was awesome.
We could do.
Well, yeah, but no, it's this weird thing where the brother, he finds a wayward ring, puts it on, and then starts having some wet dreams about a girl, and then tells his sister. It's fucked up.
I mean, the first thing I do when I see a ring is immediately put it on my finger.
Immediately put it on, and then but the siblings love each other. Sister's like worried about them.
Yeah.
But that's the thing is like he keeps seeing this Donna woman everywhere, and he gets a note. Somehow he gets an actual note to meet at the Rama.
Yeah.
After hours, and then this is a weird part. It doesn't make much sense with the twist, but it's like a 50s style.
Yeah.
And well, my one note was like he already dressed like he was from the 50s, so I was like, oh well, there you go.
Yeah, I was like, maybe it's supposed to be a 50-esque year. It's supposed to take place in the 50s, but budget couldn't handle it, except for I was like, well, just Blair, Buddy Holly, and make them talk like they're in the 50s, but we can't afford 50s clothes.
Well, it feels like yeah. Well, it's part of the twist. Like they're trying to create this thing where it's like this ghost from the past.
Yeah.
Right, because he's wearing a leather jacket and all this shit.
Which is to me, in my opinion, is very 50s. Because when I was in high school, I never saw the cheerleader girl with her football boyfriend wear his Letterman jacket. I don't think I even saw the football players wearing Leatherman jackets. So I wonder if that's just the thing Hollywood just did.
Yeah.
Anyone who lived there in that time, please comment. Please either debunk or
Well, and also tell me if hot apple pie a la mode with the Coke chaser was a thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds awesome. But I don't think I've ever done that before. Let's do it. Apple pie with the Coke chaser. Let's go. But yeah, in this weird like fantasy dream or whatever the fuck, Donna's late. But then she arrives, And he's like, I hope I'm not late. And he's like, I'm like, you know you're late, bitch.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
It was like, what, they barely get a half a dance?
Yeah, and then she has to go.
Yeah.
What, is this love? This is true love?
This is why I had a problem with this being such a, highest rated.
The top rated. That's right.
Maybe it was just that one lucky weekend. Enough people were on it, and it just happened. Boom.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe I'll go back and find out what else was playing during that weekend. Was there an event happening, and it's just like, oh, Are You Afraid of the Dark is a prelude before it.
I mean, it is a weird one, only because, like, yeah, there's nothing, like, macabre about it at all. There's nothing really horror about it. Really, like, it's pretty mild with all that stuff.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, I don't know, it's cool, like the next scene, it's like the sister, she's done some research. She's like, this Donna chick's dead. She died in a car accident.
And so that, I thought, the whole research thing about it, and it was like, I always did, until the reveal of it. It's like, why is everybody seem to give him this cold shoulder? Did he do something like so horrendous, like the town now knows, and they're like, we just won't acknowledge this guy anymore.
Well, yeah, the mom is kind of weird.
Yeah.
The Bolorama owner is kind of weird. The chick that kind of looks like Donna is a little strange.
Yeah. Because don't get me wrong, I would understand a girl like, she's the popular girl, a nerdy person, a dorky guy comes up, yeah, she wouldn't acknowledge him. But a guy, the boss of the Bolorama, who's, who's such a cheapskate, he just wants probably an extra 50 cents on his paycheck.
Well, I'll be honest with you, Phil. The twist got me. I did not know at all.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that right now. I did not I didn't notice anything.
Yeah, no, I think in hindsight, she was spoon. Hopefully, he would remember. She was spoon feeding it to him.
Oh yeah, and that is kind of that's cool. That's kind of a cool take. But he keeps getting haunted. He tells her to knock it off. She eventually calls him.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Hey, no, we're through, Donna. No more.
How do I get this damn ring still off my finger?"
Yeah, this is so weird. And so they eventually. So the sister comes up with the plan. She's like, "Let's go to the graveyard. Let's go to the gravestone. That's how you do it."
Which I was funny. It's like, wow. When did this library have an occult section? I think every movie had horror movie had an occult section.
I mean, I don't know, man. Maybe every actual library has one. We should ask.
Yeah.
Should go to a local library, ladies and gentlemen. Ask for that occult shit.
It's like, we're not talking about just gems and crystals and all that. We want the Necronomicon. We want the book of the book of the the book of the Dead from the Mummy movie.
Well, so they go to the gravestone, and it becomes immediate. He's like, "What's that other one?" And she's like, "Well, look, it's your name, bro. Bruv, you're dead. You've been dead this whole time, Bruce Willis." So, oh shit. And I'll say it. The twist got me. I was like, "Oh no, that's crazy."
Yeah.
But here's the thing. See, it's not really. Okay, so this is the funny thing. So she's like, "Yeah, that happens." Then Donna rolls through, and the sister's like, "Oh man, so I've been, I've been wanting things to say the same because you died, brother. I love you, but I want to say the same. But now Donna's here. Here's the ring. You got to go. I'm happy. You go. You can find your girlfriend,
I mean,
and then they start making out in front of his sister.
to be honest, if this was a hard, she would. I think the sister would have been more freaked out. My brother's dead. Now he's right there in my front living room watching television.
Yeah, I don't know. See, that's the thing. It's like everyone's like, like this weird thing about like it's about teenage love. Not really. Not about teenage love. It's about sibling love. It's about losing a sibling. And I think maybe that's why it's talked about. Yeah. Because I think it has a really cool message, just about, grieving and about, letting people go and stuff like that. It was never really about the brother. It was about the sister and the brother, and them saying goodbye to each other. And that was it was impactful. I enjoyed this episode ultimately. Although but that's the thing. What was the 50s shit about? That was a red herring.
Yeah.
Because Donna and the brother did not live in the 50s. They were living in the 90s. The 50s. No. It was a red herring the whole totally.
Now, see, I think would have been had she went with her brother to there and he's seen it and she sees nothing. But again, I think it's also one of those ghosts it's whatever. To me, it's like werewolves. When a person turns into a werewolf, are they all just beasts, or do they control the beast, and just are has that type of lore on it?
I gotcha.
But yeah, but no, it was. Yeah, this is definitely good as a I can't say morality tale because no one was being no one he didn't do anything to be that was an a-hole to redeem. He was just like living his life. Thought he was living his life. Fixing the stuff at his work. Wanted a raise from his boss. For some reason his mom's being a dick. Not acknowledging him.
Yeah.
So it's like, so maybe he's a troublemaker. So but it was like I said, it was good morality, of one, true love, and of siblings who care for each other.
Yeah, it was heartfelt. It was it really was heartfelt because I think they had good chemistry, the two actors.
Yeah.
The brother and the sister, and it was impactful climax, and there wasn't much horrific about it or anything macabre about it or anything. It was just a really good sort of like, just a really cool episode about grief and losing a loved one, and it was just awesome. And it was season 3, so it was like all pretty probably in their peak.
Yeah, and I think by this time, 2 or 3 of the Midnight Society of Actors, because the guy who got initiated in the first episode, by second season he was gone.
Oh no, Frank!
Yeah.
What the fuck, Frank?
And then so they brung in like the the nerdy brothers. Little brother's friend, who's apparently some kind of creep.
In real life?
Who fit? Well, no, because when he brings in, they're like, "Oh God, him!"
Oh yeah. Like
he's some type of dirtbag. And which is funny because he fails his initiation and is given a second chance.
What?
Yeah. And it's like, I don't know. I think then all of a sudden maybe they try to do some continuity there, but it was like all of a sudden it was like he's in the next episode regardless.
Hey, when did the remake thing happen?
2012, I think it was.
I was going to say we need them all back. We need a reunion. We need a Midnight Society to roll back in everybody,
Yeah, and
especially Gary. Especially Gary.
yeah, because I think they actually released another. Now it's like more or less more of like hard. It said because there was a new one I saw at Walmart where it was like the cabin on Haunted Cove or something like that. Like it was a movie or something. I never picked it up to read the synopsis of it, but apparently they did the remake was Gary basically shows up and is like my friends were subjected to this now because apparently they stopped like for an episode they didn't tell a tale. I think I watched this on the history of it, and when he focused on that, it's like apparently for one episode they didn't tell a tale. Well, the next episode, one of their friends mysteriously died, and became now this. They told the tale, but there was this now murder mystery they had to solve. Very very weird.
Okay. All right. Cool. Hey, hang on. I gotta relieve this mystery in my bladder.
All right.
Real quick. I'll be right back, folks.
Yeah, I will entertain the masses for the meantime.
Yes.
And eat my French fry.
Ooh. What's that from?
And they're cold.
Nice.
Yeah, so I mean, so was it for takes longer than I remember eating a French fry. I know that like a lot of these I think a lot of these series I remember just have latched on, and to this day is like I'll make a comment here and there, pulling from an episode, and I've got strange looks going, huh? What is it? What is that from? And I'll say, and they're like, never heard of it. That's why I'll take my shoe and smack them. Someone's here. I guess I'll be back in a second too. Okay, I'm going. I was thinking with my friend. I'm like, I don't know about the show today. Kick Karen in the butt for not hearing your knock. Make sure I hit the right button. But, yeah, and with it, question for those people. You know, would you watch the original series, and then would you watch the remake, the remake version of this? You know, put in the comments. Did you guys have a favorite episode? Like to hear.
Oh man, you put that in the comments. We're not there yet though.
Nope, we're not.
We got the top rated Tales of the Crypt episode.
And I actually will agree. This is I as a top rated.
Oh my god. Now, this is the thing. Again, I have a scant memory of seeing this.
Same here.
When it came out.
Yeah. I think it was one of those I saw like the last 5 minutes of this episode.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. This is holy shit. Oh, did I not put the fucking title?
Episode. Make sure I didn't say is from season 4, episode 6.
Yeah.
What's cooking?
What's cooking?
Not the best name in the world.
And this was July 22nd, 1992.
I was 12 years old.
Yeah, okay, and Jesus Christ, this, like, it's so crazy who the fuck's in this episode, dude. We've got fucking Superman,
Yeah.
a.k.a. the OG Superman, Christopher Reeve
Yep.
is in this fucking episode. Judd Nelson,
Yeah.
Art LaFleur, fucking Meatloaf is in this episode.
Yeah.
What is going on?
No, it was like who was the director of this?
Oh shit! Let's find it. I thought I had it. I thought I had
Yeah.
put all these on there. I didn't. God damn it!
Yeah, but no, it was like, I remember through a YouTube channel watching this out, and I was initially like, this is not. To me, I was a little just turned off. I think when they opened, I was just a little just turned off by it. Maybe because it was the whole them cooking squid loaf.
Squid. It's a squid montage.
Yeah. Because, but by the point when it starts revving up, and I think Christopher Reeve taking that bite, it's like, yeah, no, dude, they're succeeding, man.
Dude.
And again, this maybe it's just it's just one of those now watching movies. How long did this happen? Because it felt like this was like a 3-day window.
I gotcha.
Did Meatloaf really last for 3 days?
All right. Now here's the thing. One, at this point, season 4. Now we've got Crypt Keepers in full comic relief.
Yeah.
Like we're deep in it now. This is it's sort of halfway through the series as well. A bit. It's like close to the halfway point. One, and then two, and this is the thing. Like I put on this episode. I started watching it, and I watched this right after the Are You Afraid of the Dark episode.
Okay.
And I was like, dude, okay, HBO, you got all these like A-list actors. But dude, it's campy as hell, dude. This could be an Are You Afraid of the Dark episode. If it was like toned down.
No,
like it's insane. A squid restaurant?
Yeah.
Fuck off. Like, what is happening right now? Judd Nelson's name is Gaston? What the fuck, dude? Like, it's so funny and like just sort of out of this world. It's just kind of like, wow. And like, this is what cemented in my mind. I was like, yeah, there's not. Yeah, I mean, Tales from the it's a horror series, but at the same time, it's really about that kind of like that branch of horror that's like absurd and just kind of funny.
Yeah, well, see,
That's
also a lot of problem with the Tales from the Crypt episodes. So one of the episodes I had a huge I like the episode because this is a little tangent. It was the season finale for third season. The episode's called Yellow. It was taken from one of their it was from the Super Suspense stories. A lot of top tier actors had Dan Aykroyd, Lance Hendrickson, Eric, and Kirk Douglas in it. And it was basically
Jesus.
It was basically a World War One story of Eric Douglas that basically he doesn't want to be his Kurt Douglas, his father, did not want he did not want to be in the army, but because his dad was such a like I want to put it as like he was like a MacArthur or for this British group, he had to do it. Well, because he was found while everyone was fighting, he was found in a foxhole, not I think he was told to charge, and he's like, no, I'm going to pop the shoot have him call the alarm to he wanted to save his people, save his battalion. I'm going to call a retreat. So he gets called up, and it was like there's no horror in it, which did piss me off. Great story, it was a Zemeckis. It was like the one of the only episodes that got like an Academy Award, I think it was.
Oh,
it was a Zemeckis. And from what it sounds like, it was one he really wanted to do. But it was like, but there was a lot. There were a lot of episodes that were misses. I mean, there's an episode that has the reluctant vampire. Malcolm
Malcolm McDowell.
Yeah, as a vampire who doesn't want to drink human blood anymore, so he's working at a blood bank. And it's so more comedic, and then as a horror. And there was a guy who's a Van Helsing, and he's been in other horror movies, but he has this weird looking look on his face. His eyes always seem to be crossed. Wearing, he's going, I'm going to go after this vampire. He's a menace. Where he's at one point in the episode, he's starts killing all the criminals in the city to replenish all the blood he drank, because his blood bank is going to be closed. And Norm knows this guy is a vampire. And it's like, okay. And that's why, this one I think had that right, horror, comic, because it's like this restaurant serving squid loaf, squid on toast, and that just sounds so. It's so funny sounding. Apparently, squid loaf was an Easter egg for meatloaf.
Oh, okay. Nice.
But
it's ridiculous.
Yeah, but it hit that where it was. It was one of those that hit that right combination of silliness and horror. A little more, if you had to put like this being horror, it would be like something like this.
Well, it's they're down in their luck. Obviously, they got no money.
Yeah, sorry for the tangent too.
At a certain point, the landowner rolls in. That's Meatloaf. He tries to get his money.
Yeah, you said it by yesterday.
Mr. Chumley. That's a good name. That's a Meatloaf in a white suit and a southern accent. It's awesome.
It was weird. After watching this episode, for some reason, I got the image of Mr. Krabs from SpongeBob. I don't know why.
Oh, that makes sense. But then there's Christopher Reeve just playing it serious. Like it's so weird. And Judd Nelson being like this weird dude who they're giving. He was a bum.
So,
But he was like this greaser bum.
Yeah.
Like at one point, Irma, the wife, goes out to give him some chopped up squid
Yep.
because he lives across the street in the alleyway.
Yeah.
And he hits on her, and she's like, "What?" It's just so weird. And then we go to Fred and Irma's shitty apartment, and and he's like, "I need your credit card," and she gets mad.
Yeah.
It's like we're gonna. I'm so. It's just so weird. But it's saved because next morning they roll in and Judd Nelson, he's already there.
Yeah.
And he's like, and then Phil, the police officer, rolls in, and he's like, steak and eggs, and they like, we don't serve you. We're a squid restaurant, Phil.
Well, no, well, he knows that they're because he comes in there earlier, like, well, you want your usual squid, a la tartare.
Well, then what's he doing? What's he doing?
And he's
doing
like,
steak and eggs.
Yeah, and he's like, well, I'm here to get something. He's like, well, all I have is these steak and eggs. Oh, throw it on there.
Family recipe, specially cured.
Yeah.
Hey, Christopher Reeve, great idea. A diner that sells eggs and beef. Great idea.
Yeah.
Let's try. This is amazing.
I guess they live in a world where, like, Denny's doesn't exist.
And then, like, two businesswomen roll in. They're like, we smelled it from out here. It smells great. Let's get in there.
Well, okay, think about it. All that squid they've been cooking. There was probably a pungent squid smell. Ooh, what's that smell? It smells like.
Love that smell of charred human in the morning. Yeah,
And
no,
see,
everyone's getting in there.
And see, that's what I think what's weird is. I remember watching a movie where it got a guy, same thing. He goes to this diner and apparently they're serving human. This guy I can't remember the movie show, and he says he took a bite of the. He walked in there, he recognized the smell. He took a bite of it. And he realized this restaurant was serving human flesh. And he's like, it has a smell to it. It has a taste to it. And it's like, so do these other people not realize, this doesn't taste like cattle? Or does Meatloaf's character eat something so, and plus this, whatever the family, dry rub was, because.
like that's the whole thing. It's like, hey, Gaston, it's your dry rub. That's what's awesome. You could put that on any meat. You could just buy beef. You don't need to kill Meatloaf and other people. You could just buy beef, dude.
Well, see, it was probably whatever that rub was. Maybe it only works with human meat.
Maybe.
I wonder what the ribs would have tasted like.
Yeah, it's possible. But yeah, no. But this is the thing. This is the beauty of this tale of Tales from the Crypt. Is that it's sort of just this weird little comedic absurd tale, and then they're doing great. Everyone's in there, and then Fred rolls to the freezer with Gaston, and this awesome, just like there's Meatloaf hanging naked, fucking chopped into, and it looks awesome. It's practical effects, and Judd Nelson cuts a bit off.
Yeah,
and it's like, this is the best.
I mean,
it's so cool.
I mean, I think it was funny. It was also, I think the amount they threw on there and would serve. It was like, to me, those were like huge portions.
That was a lot of meatloaf on there.
Yeah.
And we can't forget the best quote done by Judd Nelson. It's a dog-eat-dog world out there, and we're all different flavors of Alpo. It's awesome. It's the end of the day. They count up the money. They made a bunch of money because they served some food.
Yeah.
They served meat at a restaurant. Good job, guys. And then we go back to seeing Meatloaf in the freezer, and he's gone, basically. Yeah. It's like his skeleton and his face. It's awesome.
Well, it's the thing that, after now watching, like, Texas Chainsaw, they could easily made head cheese.
Yeah, they're good. They're good. Also, but it's cool. They're Judd Nelson's just like he blackmails. He wants 50-50.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'll give the meat. You just do the thing. And so we have a montage. A little bit. It's popping. It's popping, dude.
Yeah. I mean,
Everyone's coming to this restaurant.
as I was like, so going to make comments like, because the way it made it sound like there was a prominent like homeless thing going on in here.
There were a lot of greasers in that alleyway earlier.
And so could make comments like, oh wow, I haven't seen that group that's usually hanging out there, or the cop is just like yeah, I didn't see those bums out, who hangs out in that alley down there. I'm not saying like they just that's all they do is just sit in the alley there. They have stuff to do.
Oh man, no, but it's good. Like there's all these like puns that are happening. Things are happening all over the place. But they're making money. Christopher Reeve doesn't feel good about it
until he takes a bite.
Oh he's
like the whole time he's like, because I think his wife takes a bite before he does.
Oh yeah,
and like you can just see like the repulsion on his face.
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, Christopher Reeve is the shit, man.
And I think this is like right also after like, the last Superman movie he was in had tanked.
It's close. This is right before he had his accident.
Yeah.
Like this might have been like one of the last few things he filmed.
Yeah.
Like for real. The cop Ari LaFleur comes in, the cop, and he's like, "Hey, this steak's great. Anyway, we found a random metal alloy on the knife that cut Mr. Chumley. We're gonna find the killer."
I mean, doesn't he like? He's like, yeah, no. He comes in later and says, "Yeah, it's only done on certain like cutting knives."
Yeah, very particular cooking knives. Don't worry, we're gonna find the killer. And then Gaston rolls over and he's like, "What's eating you?" And he's like, "Don't say that." It's awesome.
Yeah.
And then God, what a weird. It's so strange. So Christopher Reeve's like, this has got to stop. And Gaston's like, no. And so then Gaston goes and visit Irma at their house.
Yeah.
And he tries to get the one up on it. He's like, your husband's acting weird.
I think he might kill him. Said he
Yeah, he's gonna kill himself with your gun, which he took.
Yeah.
He knows. And then
there was no like even hint that the gun was never loaded, right? Had nothing in it.
No.
It was just like it just all of a sudden just like, oh, yeah. Well, get there in a second.
Well, okay, so yeah, Gaston goes back to the restaurant, but Fred's there and he's ready, and they have a face-off, and Judd has the gun, and he's like, "I'm gonna kill you."
You think the first thing he would do was check the?
But the weird thing is about this thing is like, yeah, so like they decide, like Fred, Irma, his wife, and the cop are there, and all of a sudden they're like, "Fuck you, Gaston. We're gonna kill you." Like, Fred was a pretty stand-up guy, and then all of a sudden he's like, "Fuck it, we're gonna serve Gaston."
We're going to serve man here now.
What?
And then now the cop's like has a, it's like also like now he's way like now he realized he's been eating human meat.
He needs the human meat. He's addicted to the human meat and the family they don't have the family recipe still. They don't have the dry herb recipe.
Yeah.
We don't know if it's going to be successful or not.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's how.
To me, like, because the cop makes a reference like, well, if you cook something like this, I would stay home. Maybe that's what he realized. She went and bought some steak.
Yeah, there you go.
She cooked it up. Maybe it was, she, knew how to cook a good steak. But he's like, wait, something just does not taste right here. It's not.
Just weird.
You know, then
It was a very strange ending. Because you're all of a sudden like, holy shit! So okay, now they're cool with it.
Yeah.
It was, but overall, yeah, as a top rated, yeah, I think it's like peak. That is peak Tales from the Crypt.
Yeah.
Like definitely. Yeah, it was a great episode. But it did put into my mind. I was like, okay, Tales from the Crypt. It wasn't like the horror of today, which like has no sense of humor.
Yeah.
Like all Tales from the Crypt, even since the beginning, had a kind of sense of humor to it. It was like schlock and campy shit.
Yeah.
All of it interspersed. And Are You Afraid of the Dark does as well in its own way.
Yeah.
Like so, it was this episode that made me think, yeah, they're a lot closer together. They're than I originally thought they were.
Yeah, no, but I also, I wouldn't doubt like the, maybe one, Tales from the Crypt went a little more comedic. It could have been also from the studio. It's like, probably hearing like, no, this is reaching, young adults from the age of 12 to this.
Yeah, our fucking asses.
Yeah. Because I don't think I properly watched a full horror movie until then. Because I don't think I even watched Nightmare at this point.
Are you sure?
No, we had to.
Like I feel that we were well at even in 89. I think even then we were well versed in at least some things.
Yeah, because I know I didn't jump on like the Freddy bandwagon until I think almost before Freddy's Dead came out, and I remember at least seeing Elm Street 5 and it being labeled as horror, and I go, this is scary. Now,
I don't know, man, because we went and saw Freddy's Dead in the theater, right?
No.
I did. Didn't we go together?
No.
Are you sure?
I remember one time like you got sick. You came over to my folks' house because your mom had to go to work. And I think she got a short shift that day because your dad was working in Wyoming. And you had rented Freddy's Dead, and I tried everything I could to get to come home sick to watch Freddy's Dead, and when I finally did, you were gone.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh shit! I guess Freddy's Dead did. Okay, it came out in 91. Oh wait, no. That's the. Wait a second. All right, come on.
I thought Freddy's Dead came out in 93.
Hang on, Nightmare 6.
Was it 90?
We got it. No. Hang on, Nightmare. Freddy's Dead, the Final Nightmare. God damn it, we gotta figure this out. This is a big deal. Because I remember I went to the theater to watch it, and I thought I'd went with you, but perhaps not.
Freddy's Dead, the Final Nightmare. Oh, it came out in 91.
91. Holy shit. Okay, so
something isn't adding up here.
I know, right? Because man, I would have been like.
Okay, we're now.
I would have been like 13 or 12, and my parents and I went and saw that in the theater. Holy shit, ladies and gentlemen, we were not. We were given full access.
Because I remember watching Elm Street 5, at least like the latter half of it, with our cousin Utana when she came down from Vegas for some reason.
Man, well, You see it seems that you have a more specific memory than I do, Phil. So I'll trust your timeline
Yeah.
over mine. Okay. Well, but yeah. Regardless, I mean, I think if we saw this episode when it came out, or we saw the beginning of we were already pretty well.
Yeah.
We were versed.
Well, this came out
horror.
episode did come out in 1992. And again,
We
back
would've-
then, I don't think from movie theater to VHS, I think had a longer window wait.
Or at least it felt like it back in the day, right?
Yeah.
I have no idea how.
All right. Well, folks. So we've done sort of our preliminary. This is what the internet tells us. But now's the real climax of the evening. Is we get to talk about our personal favorites in both of these series, and this is a big deal. So Phil, why don't you start us off? Well, why don't we roll back to Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Okay.
We've just watched Tales of True Love, top rated. That's nice, but Are You Afraid of the Dark? Whole series arc. What's the episode that spoke to you back in the day and today? Let us know.
I mean, it was I think it was the second episode. I wish I could find the list I had. Are You Smiling in the Dark episode?
Oh my God! This literally the second episode of the whole series.
Yeah. And
With Fizbo.
Yeah, I think it was that whole, this is before it, but of a creepy clown.
Wait, was it before?
At least the miniseries.
Holy shit! Really?
Yeah,
Damn. Yeah, you're right.
and
At least like a year.
yeah, and it was, and I think that's where it also made me realize how much this is more of morality morality stories. Don't steal, don't bully, don't be an ass to your friend, and all that. But it's like I also have a partial one sort of rewatching all these. I wish I remember the damn episode's name, but it's the one that has Dr. Vink in it, where it's in the theater and the Nosferatu, his Nosferatu escapes. Just because I also have that, always like the idea of the horror monster. That's how the horror it's straight from the movie they're watching.
Okay, I have to correct you a little bit. The miniseries came out before this episode.
Well, I
The
didn't see.
miniseries was 1990.
Okay, see, and I didn't see it because at that time I don't think I had an interest of Stephen King and all that. Because I didn't see it almost until maybe 94, 96. And that was a VHS copy Uncle Will had, and it had like the last 20 minutes, like the whole the loser club going into the sewage, fighting it, and then the second part of the episode.
Oh my God, that can't be true. You know what that means?
Huh.
Is I did not share my VHS versions, which I recorded myself and had for those 4 years.
Maybe I didn't know you had, because I think one time you said you had them, but you
That
couldn't
feels
find
bad.
them.
Man, that makes me sad. That makes me super sad. Fuck. All right. Well, okay. Well, yeah. So this episode was Creepy Clown for you, the first.
Yeah. Apparently, like I found out. So apparently the redhead kid in it has now apparently starred in a new horror movie. Kind of, I wish I could remember that because you know had just came out with a new horror movie, and they're like, "Hey, yeah, it's this kid from this episode." I'm like, ha, "That's funny."
Nice.
I have to see if I can find it. Maybe it's in my YouTube watch list, history list.
Well, yeah, no, I somewhat remember this episode. I mean, because again, as we said earlier, like, yeah, we knew when these shows first started, and we definitely both watched
Yeah.
all these shows when they first started. So yeah, I totally remember this episode. He steals his nose, and then regrets it.
Yeah, and see, it was like, was it a ghost going after him? What was it the guy? The caller was he the ghost? Was he really a ghost who could? Because there's that one scene where he's like, I'm Zebo, and all of a sudden he walks, and there's Zebo, full clown outfit, mocking him.
Yeah, that's pretty fucked up. Wait, is Dr. Fink in this too?
No.
But I think the actor who plays him is.
Yeah.
Fucking Aaron Traeger is right there. He's the fucking he's the ringmaster.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Keep it close. Keep it in the family. Jesus Christ. Do you remember do you remember which kid in the Mystery Club told this story? It looks like it's the young. From the photos, it looks like it's the young kid, young boy.
I think so, and I remember it was the blonde girl who apparently she was terrified of clowns.
Oh my god!
Because they did that pull back, and they're like, "How are you handling it?" And she's like, "I'm doing okay."
Yeah.
And she's probably like putting her nails into these rock seats they're sitting in.
Hey, and you know what? You know who else Aaron Traeger played?
Huh.
Also Zebo. He was also Zebo.
This guy should be an award-winning actor here. He probably was.
Well, yeah, no. Well, I mean, don't worry about him. He, like as I said, like he's worked up until this day, steadily, steady actor, working. Yeah, every year, in something. Yeah, good for him. Well, yeah. Well, what is it about this episode?
I get it. I think it was just that it was me realizing it was a morality tale, and the whole idea of this ghost clown. And then it wasn't until I think years later I realized at the end of it when after the kid leaves, and it's like, was the guy live there the whole time, or did he go there during the just before they opened? Because at the end you hear the sound of the carnival going on. I didn't realize at the end of it the ringmaster guy was smoking a cigar. Oh, well, nice. Wait a minute.
Okay. Shit.
I'm like, wow, this guy's a dick. He, tormented this poor kid for stealing probably a 35-cent, foam nose.
Hey, look, man. The circus is the hard life.
Yes.
You got to watch out for all the pennies.
Yep.
You can't be letting any of that stuff slide.
Yeah.
Oh man. All right, cool. Would you like to know mine?
Yes.
Are you ready for that? All right, yeah. Are You Afraid of the Dark? My personal favorite, the one that just every time I think of the series, I think of this episode immediately. It is season 1, episode 13, Tale of the Pinball Wizard.
I remember having the commercials and it showing that pinball on the top of the escalate, At least I think it was supposed. It was the escalator.
Yeah. This aired November 14th, 1992. And, yeah, I don't know. It doesn't really have any actors of note, although Polly Shannon plays Sophie, does a lot of work.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, no, and then Gary, the lead dude, this is his story, and all the kids are playing Game Boy around the campfire before he can start talking about it. That was probably part of it, right?
Or at least Game Boy-esque. I don't think they were actual game. They were one of those play and watch ones.
It actually kind of looks like it was like one from Japan. Like it was like one of like an older version of Game Boy.
Okay.
But yeah, no, and yeah, I don't know. Like this, just it's weird because rewatching the episode after so long, like yeah, no, it's weird. Like this episode, it sucks, and as a piece of cinema, like the pilot was way better than this episode.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's horrible. It's like it just looks bland. The acting's horrible. It's not great. But it's got a couple things going for it. One, the soundtrack is top tier.
Okay.
It's got like an 8-bit soundtrack. It's got like a video game soundtrack. It's shit. And it's really just about it's the whole thing is about the awesomeness of it was like being in the mall after it closes.
Yeah.
Right? That was
that was every teenage kid during that. What would it be like?
Yeah, it was awesome. We always want to know what that was like.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's just that sort of like romantic idea of just being in a place after dark. It's probably why we like to watch Mannequin. Remember? Kim Cattrall. We just want Andrew McCarthy. We just wanted to be Hollywood. Come and get me, Hollywood. We just wanted to be in the mall after dark.
Yep. Well, technically, in Mannequin, he wasn't in a mall. He was working in a department store. Oh yeah, and the guy.
But wasn't it in a mall?
I don't think so. It was in New York.
Oh, so it was a very big department store. It was like multi-level.
Yeah.
Huge.
And it had the guy, him and his dogs, but he was from, Police Academy. He was in MASH.
God. We watched that movie all the time. I was
surprised that that video because I think at least that was like one of our default watches. It was like how we would say we would watch the Zemeckis brothers. That one was like we would physically watch the whole thing. By all means, not a great movie.
Shut up. Shut your goddamn mouth.
I love it.
Mouth.
I love it. But it's it's not even a popcorn movie. But we sat there.
No one talks about it.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about it at some point in more depth in 3 hours worth of talking about Mannequin in a later episode, ladies and gentlemen. Don't worry about that. Cursory talk here.
We're going to talk.
Anyway,
analyze every damn scene of that movie.
Yeah. Anyway, back to Are You Afraid of the Dark? So but it's got the same thing, right? So yeah, there's this kid. He hangs out there. He knows there's an antique shop and the dude there. He sort of knows him.
Is it also sort of like he's a pinball savant or something, or
not really? He's just a teenager.
Okay.
He's just a teenager, and he's just like hanging out. And the antique shop dude has an old one in the back, and he's like, "Don't touch it, kid." And then he has to leave, and the kid's like, "Hey, I can watch your store." And he's like, "Okay, just don't touch that pinball machine."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Okay." And so while he's watching the store, some beautiful teenage girl rolls in. They flirt a little bit. She's like, he's got my music box. He's like, no. But he rizzes her up, and she's like about it. But then he's like, I got to play more pinball. So he goes and plays the pinball. And then also this part, like he plays it, and then like he finishes it, and he comes outside, and it's all dark.
Yeah.
You know, the mall's closed. He's been playing the pinball for so long that the mall's closed, and I know that feeling.
Yeah. Well, I remember that we our local mall when we had that had the arcade at Lance Castle. They would host at least after hours. Well, it wasn't quite the same because we didn't have they only had like maybe 2 or 3 pinball games.
That shit.
That was the closest we ever got to staying after hours in a mall.
Phil, those were the highlights of our childhood.
I know
those nights. I still think about those nights.
But it was just like
they were so fucking fun.
I always, I don't know why. Maybe because I was always a good boy. I wanted to run through that damn mall after we left there. Just woo!
Yeah, exactly.
But I couldn't. It was just like because.
Oh well.
Because look at it, I was such a good boy.
We were respectful. We were respectful. We didn't want to. Yeah,
we didn't want to end up in a killing arcade cabinet.
Which is what happens here because the boy. So he goes outside. The mall's closed. It's locked. But then like the chick keeps showing up, and then he starts. It's weird.
Acting as a queen. Well, while he's playing the pinball machine, he's like, "Oh, I need to, do this. I need to." I don't know of any kind of. Again, this is a special pinball machine, but I don't know any pinball machine that had this kind of story in it.
Oh well, shit, Phil. I mean, no. Pinball machines can be pretty complex this day and age. I don't know about these old ones. But they can do some weird shit.
Yeah. But I was just like, he was like, okay, I need to get the sword before I go and get, literally he's telling, because in the episode he's telling how everything has to get done, and then when he gets in the game, it's like in the cabinet, he's like, what am I doing? Why is this girl I'm crushing on looks like a princess?
No, he is Ross is kind of an idiot.
Yeah.
But he's rightfully a little confused because he's like in the mall, so and it's just an eclectic group of villains, some weird Men in Black motherfuckers, some jabroni who's like this dude in like this weird tricolor jester suit sexually assaulting a teenage girl. It's fucking weird. Something. Yeah, it's just strange. There's a witch. There's like some burly dudes. It's just strange. So he goes through this whole thing where it's cool because he's like trying to get up levels in the mall.
Yeah.
Like in a pinball, and he keeps getting the pieces of gear, like a tiara and a throne. But then he gets sent back to the beginning, and you can feel that. That sucks. And it just keeps it, so it's cool. It's like this cool little video game sort of thing, and the furniture of the mall looks like a pinball kinda. It's cool. It's like a cool. They did a good job kind of with the lighting and kind of making it look like a video game.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's just. But then at the end. He gets a super soaker and super soaks all the people, all the villains, and the main bad guy turns into a cloak, which then Sophie puts on. It's fucking weird. And then he crowns her, but then he finds himself at the first level. He's like, "Well, I gotta do it again," and then the shop owner's like, "You're in my thing. You're physically in my pinball machine. You're gonna stay there forever."
You like games? You're gonna play for it. I think it was I heard the twins from The Shine forever and ever.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't really make sense because it's weird. Because it's like, okay, did he shrink and was he doing that the whole time? Because it was more like a fever dream.
Yeah.
It was like sort of Alice in Wonderland at the beginning, but now he's just like in this shitty pinball machine. I don't know, just kind of lame. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know why this is the one. This is the episode I always think about when I think about this series. So, and I don't really know why. Probably just because I was, I'm really into video games. That's probably it. That's probably the only reason. But I think it was just kind of this cool. It was just a cool. I just enjoyed it. I don't know.
Well, I mean, and again, I have the only cautionary term. It's like, yeah, if an adult says don't go do this, don't do this.
True. The endless torment.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, yeah, there you go. Wait. I need to use the restroom again.
Okay.
Sorry, live folks. I'll be back in 1 second.
All right, I'm going to go get me a drink myself. So
All right. All right.
Nom, 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 nom. I love it when it switches the camera. Thought I didn't have a drink, but I found a drink. My favorite. Guinness. I found my drink. I thought I was out, but
What do you got? What is that? Harp?
Guinness.
Oh, nice.
I think
Nice.
I've met people who says they want either who can't drink the dark ales, and then I've met people who says they can't drink the like Corona, Bud Light, and Budweiser. They can't drink those. I can drink both.
Nice. All right. Well, we've done we got our top rated darks done. Let's roll to the crypt. The tales from the crypt. Phil. So we've talked about the pilot episode and the top rated, but what do you think is your personal favorite Tales from the Crypt?
Mine was. Damn. It was from season 2. Damn it. Episode. That can't be right. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Overall, that's overall season. Almost said the wrong number. Episode 16.
Oh.
Television of Terror.
Oh.
You know, this had because it, you know, to me, it only had one famous person. I didn't really know this guy, but to me, he fitted perfectly for it. He was Morton Downey Jr. As far as I know, no relation to Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
But the people who don't know, he was a famous. He was Jerry Springer before Jerry Springer. He's the one who introduced the whole notion of shock television. You know, I think he played this. I don't know if he was playing this a role of a conservative, you know, or he was just a wild card. But he more or less was playing him in this episode. The episode takes place, you know, Horton Rivers, played by Downey. He's, and I have such a love for this episode. He's exploring this haunted house of this of a nurse keeper named Ada Ritter who killed her elderly residents for their insurance money. It's apparently been 4 or 5 years, but people are claiming the place is haunted. And I think he's going there as the skeptic, but he's trying to get the one guy who opened opened the one guy's vault, Al Capone's vault. He wants that rating sensation, but he goes in there, you know, as a skeptic, and he, you know, has a psychic who goes, if you walk in there, you're going to die. You know, but this guy, you know, Horton, I'll just say, is just, this sleazeball, you know, the lady who's in this, who's probably like his second hand, his right hand, you know, is indicated that they're sleeping together. He's like, just because you're sleeping with me doesn't mean you're going to get further. You know, just low. You know, they're throughout the episode they're talking about what upcoming episodes, and it's literally like what you would hear on a Jerry Springer. You know, I know. This is what they would advertise during those type satanic transvestites are stealing this. That was taking place during the during the Jerry Springer type era. Okay, so.
Oh yeah.
This is just, you know, historical, giving people historic knowledge right here.
I mean,
but I think this is also what gave my love for the haunted house. You know, like there was a movie on Shudder I found called it was in Korea, and it's basically one of those haunted asylums. To this day, it's still my favorite genre. I wish I could name it, but I can't pronounce it because a lot of it is. But he goes in there, you know, and he's through. I don't know if he's first seeing this or is it just playing like flashbacks, you know, in the camera. But all of a sudden, he starts He opens the door and there's a guy with his throat slit in his own blood in the tub. Which is funny. It's like, still to this day, I will actually get that image in my head. And all of a sudden, they have a serious, everything, the doors are slamming, windows are going up and down, chandeliers shaking, major things are happening in that house. Conveniently, though, the footage to the truck is cut. They can't get that. All they hear is the sound. Well, it comes back, and they're like, Horton's going like, "Oh, I wish you guys, you guys just missed this major event happening here," and all of a sudden, you start hearing this drip, 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 drip. Looks down, and it's blood, and he sees the basically then he sees his cameraman now brutally murdered, and it is a ghost now wielding the said camera. And the ghost, I can't say take the revenge because, even the guy's a dick. He doesn't I don't believe in you. You are, they brutally kill him. And then I think and what's funny at the very end, after he dies, and the whole time he's in there, he's screaming for help, and the people in the production truck don't lift a finger because they're like, "Oh, the ratings are going through the roof. We can't do this." And he's going, "I want to die." So he ends up dying, and the episode ends where you hear the next episode of Horton Rivers coming up like it's supposed to be next week or something.
Now let me ask you, what's the prologue and the epilogue like? What's the Crypt Keeper doing?
Crap. I don't remember because.
Well, I just brought it up. It starts with the CRT bit, with some snow and stuff, and then it zooms out, and the Crypt Keeper's there, and there's also a small television,
Okay.
and he has a small camera in front of him. he's doing a little spot.
Okay.
It's awesome, dude.
I just know when it shows up. My brain just goes focused right to the episode. I don't even.
And it's one of the top rated ones.
Really?
It's got an 8.0. And man, tell me more about Dorothy Park, who plays Sam. She's a beautiful woman, and she didn't do much of anything else, acting wise. What the fuck is up with that?
Yeah, the only one that has highlight on mine is, and I would love to read the comic of this just to see what they did, because I don't think they, when Bill Gaines wrote it, I don't think he had the notion of investigative journalism. Wasn't, just a bunch of, a guy claiming to be a medium. How did I want to read and see how they change it. And I mean, right now, I would say if I happen to find it, read it, I will give you guys a report on how it changed, or how close they kept it.
Yes.
But yeah, it came out July. It's funny. I don't think I actually seen it on its release date because it came out July 17th, 1990. I could have, but I remember on a rerun subsequent viewings of it, when it was still on HBO. Because I remember one episode I remember seeing a few times. One because it was recorded with Terminator 2 was the the outlaw and the sheriff, when the sheriff handcuffed and he's dragging the guy through carrying death. That's the episode. I remember seeing that episode a few times.
All right.
But,
Well, speaking of Terminator 2 and Arnie, so I had a different episode
So let me.
as my favorite, but then I ran into this one on that awesome YouTube channel that you pointed me to.
yep. And right
yeah.
now he's doing. I think because of Halloween, he's doing marathon Halloween specials.
It's live there marathons as right now, but yeah, I have to go. I watched this and I was like, this. I got so many flashbacks. It's got to be season 2, episode 2, The Switch.
I think this is the culmination of what Tales of the Crypt was supposed to is.
Well, I mean, possibly. I mean, that's the thing. Like, it shows one thing. One, it was incredibly popular in this first season.
Yep.
It got really popular really fast. So by the beginning of season 2, they were able to get Arnold Schwarzenegger onto the set.
Yeah.
And they were self-aware enough to where,
that's
prologue.
Of him lifting, the Crypt lifting the skull.
The Crypt Keeper's fucking getting gains, and Arnold rolls in. He's like, "What you doing? You want to stay a 90-pound toothpick for the rest of your death? Let me tell the story." And he's like, "Today's story," and I'm like, does that happen any other time in this whole series?
No.
Like Arnold Schwarzenegger just rolls in.
No, the only one that I'd say could come close is something like of a not like a self-awareness was, I can't remember what season, but the guy who played Death in Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey in it, and the whole time he's spouting off how they're great friends, and all of a sudden I think he's trying to, Death wants to take over the Crypt Keeper's job.
Yeah.
And he's like, and you hear the Crypt Keeper voice, only time he comes in, he just eats my food and drinks my wine. And then playing that game of rock, paper, scissors. I think that's the only other closest we had.
Nice. Well, yeah, no, it's so weird. It's so strange.
Well, it had William Hinckley in it.
Oh, well, yeah. Okay, yeah. So, yeah, the episode itself, look, it's got William Hinckley in it, which I remember most from the Tales from the Dark Side movie.
Yep.
Although he's been in a lot of shit.
Yeah.
But it's got Kelly Preston.
That's Travolta's wife.
Ooh.
Or now maybe ex-wife. I don't know what
probably ex-wife. Yeah. It's got Roy Brocksmith, who was already in an episode of.
He was the doctor, right?
Yeah, he was the doctor, and he was also in the pilot episode.
Yeah, he was the
bartender.
Yeah. See, I was like, I once now I got older and start recognizing faces. Like whenever I would start watching them, like, oh hey, there's him. That's what I think I loved about watching this is seeing that's what gave my opinion of what's his one who was always the unhappy curmudgeon. You know, he plays a bunch of hitmen in these episodes. Yeah, so sorry.
Well, yeah, no, I mean that's the thing is that there's so many people who just keep coming back.
Yeah.
Right, and no, it's cool, and yeah, in this episode, I watched it and it was coming home. It was coming back home. I remember it so well, or I had forgotten about it and then watched it and was like, holy shit, because it's about this old dude who loves a young woman, but she's a bitch.
She's a gold digger.
Well, but not even that. She's worse than a gold. She's just horrible.
Yeah.
But it's also his problem too, because he's like, I'm in love, and she'll just love me, and it's like, what are you talking about, dude? You're like 75 years old. You can't do that. You just can't be like, I love this woman,
Yeah.
and not tell her you have money. That's like your thing, dude. What are you talking about? I want her to love me for me. It's like, wait, no. You're like 7. She's like 25.
Yeah.
You fucking asshole. Like I have a totally different view now. I'm like, you're a piece of shit. Like she's a young woman.
I liked how maybe they ran. It was like, maybe she was like he was in there like he had a surgery or something. She's a physical therapist. Not even his physical therapist, but he saw her.
Yeah. How'd they meet?
Yeah.
It's just so weird. And so like this one scene, they're like, well, like first it shows the good relationship he has with Fulton, his butler.
Yeah.
Like they have fun together. They have a good relationship.
That opening for
awesome.
that was just weird.
Oh, he's awesome. He's like, bring the light, bring the light.
Yeah.
Oh, it's great. But then he goes to her house and she's like, your face looks old. And I'm like, dude, his face doesn't look old. He's just old.
Yeah.
It's not, but he takes it literally. He's like, my face. Oh, okay, my face. All right. Well, I'll get my face.
If I get
redone.
this fixed, okay, we'll be good.
Well, yeah, he goes to a normal dude. The normal dude's like, no. He's like, I heard someone could do it. And he's like, well, there's talk of one guy, Roy Brocksmith. I'll give him his address. And so then
this is what it costs. He's like this. I think he even said this cost some serious money, and so it's never let how much he dropped. And it's like,
well, no. They're very specific about what he drops.
Okay.
That's also another funny part, because he goes to Roy Bracksmith's house. It's a dark mansion in the rain.
It would be like literally what you would expect Frankenstein living in.
It's ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. But he
I love
goes there.
His opening. You literally see him, and then he's like,
yeah, and he's like $1 million. $1 million. 100K is for which one. That's you're getting off lightly in today's rates with that, because he's like this costs 100K. This procedure costs 100K. Holy shit! Like that, like any procedure costs 100K nowadays.
Yeah,
like he's getting off easy, but 900K for the face. So he's like
he does like they just don't grow on how our folks like this just doesn't grow on trees.
Sure, yeah. You need to pay a young man 900K to get for him to take your shitty face.
Yeah,
get your own face on there, and then so he does that. Procedure happens. It's totally Frankenstein, and then I don't know if you remember the awesome the first time he meets with Linda after he gets the new face.
Yeah.
Like the face itself, it hasn't fully healed yet.
Yeah.
And I can't tell if it was William Hickey with the mask on or the young dude with just some makeup on. You should check it out. It looks fucking incredible.
Yeah, the amount of time I've watched, I've always, because it has that uncanny valley too.
Fuck! It looks so.
I think it has to be the young man, because when he's talking, something just doesn't sound right. Hearing, yeah. And I actually looked at the guy who plays Hans. He was in the Terminator.
Oh yeah, no, that dude's a Giga Chad.
Yeah, he's got a huge IMDb. Yep.
And it's so weird when he's at the dock. He's like, Hans got a great brain. He's like, don't forget my hair. Oh, Hans got great hair. He's got great hair and great brain.
And
but anyway,
wait, will I get his mind?
Hans got great mind, but don't worry about that. No.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, he does the face, and Linda's like, that's weird. Rightfully so.
Yeah.
And so he's like, she's like, what about your chest. He's like, I'll get the chest too. And so the chest costs $2 million. So he goes, gets the chest done. And then there's a
then you see
montage.
him-
Oh yeah, they're at like Santa Monica Beach or something like that. It's
You
like-
think somebody would said like, dude, what's wrong with those legs?
well, no, he had pants on. I looked.
Okay.
He has some tight pants on. And so she doesn't notice. No one else noticed. They're walking on the beach. He's rocking. His face is normal now.
Yeah.
Like his
It's
face
now
is.
it is clearly Hans
Yeah.
with
Acting.
with Hinckley's voice. Hickey's voice.
Yeah. And she's cool with it. Linda's like, oh my god, this is amazing. This is great. But then gets the funny shot where she sees his legs and they're shit. And she's like, well, what's this? They look how shitty they look. What a bitch. They look at all the veins.
Yeah. So yeah, that was always something I wondered. Okay, was it just the skin or was it like the bones?
No, it was the bones as well, because the doctor mentions that. He's like, this is what happens. I restructure the bones and the skin on top of it. That's what he says.
Okay, because I'm like yeah, he may have this now, A+ face, but it's like, dude, if he but it's like if it's still his bones, dude, he's still going to have partially. He may still have arthritis.
Osteoporosis.
Yeah.
No. He gets some good bones in there. The muscles, he must have replaced the muscles too. Really, I mean,
I think it just might as well he just literally just cut the top of the cranium, switch the brains.
that would have been the easier option.
Yeah.
He should have done that at the very beginning.
But no, because
Well, so yeah, no, and he's like, Linda, are you not ever satisfied? And she's like, I know what I want, Carlton. And he's like, well then fine, I'll get the thing. The problem is Carlton, my boy, he's not apparently, even though he lives in like this huge fucking mansion,
yeah,
he only has $5 million
yeah.
to his name.
I imagine it was
It's a lot of money.
Yeah,
but
I don't know. I imagine it was like had he just, yeah, let her play, be his, let her be his sugar baby, splurge on. He would have been fine till the day he died.
well, we'll find that out. Yes.
No, had he not done the whole procedures.
Yes. Yeah.
But no. He wanted some. He also wanted something else.
Oh well. I mean.
Kelly Preston. Come on, yeah.
He was forced into. He has to go back to the doc, and he's like, Doc, give me 2 legs, and he's like, oh, but you want 3.
Yeah,
A
million per appendage.
And because of this, he can no longer afford his house, nor his good friend / butler Fulton.
Yeah,
Gotta let him go. Sad moment. Because they really had a real relationship. They had a good friendship.
yeah.
But he's looking for true love, so he does the procedure. 3 legs. He gets 2 legs plus a big dong, I guess. He's ready to rock.
Yep.
And it's done. He's got no more money. He's poor as fuck, but he goes to visit.
Somehow has enough to buy a wedding ring or engagement ring.
And he still has his weird like 1950s car.
So I like to think about this point. Somehow there was a like major like engine breakage because to me I don't think it ever ran perfectly because it didn't look right when he shows back up and that little gang of those.
What was that? That was so weird.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense.
Like now he has super strength.
That's all. Yeah. See, yeah. Even as we'll see, the bad ending. He's fine. He's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
But he finds where Linda's at or Sophie's at, goes to visit her, gets in there, and see that's the thing. I remember this. I remember watching this as a kid and just being like, oh fuck, dude, because there she is. She's like, I found a man who who could support me, Carlton. A man who could. I don't have to worry about money.
Yeah.
You know, he can just. His name is Hans. Oh my God!
But weirdly, he looks like you.
Oh, he's there. He's fucking. And then the worst part of it all. The worst part of it all is Fulton rolls in with the fucking champagne. There are your drinks, my lord. And then just looks at Carlton like he doesn't even know him. What the fuck?
Yeah.
The betrayal on every side. And then Hans just laughs at him, and that's the end.
Yeah.
So, and the Crypt Keeper's like, well, poor Carlton. You know, he tried. He's fucked up.
All right, my question is, the body at the end of it.
Yeah.
Do you think that was supposed to be Arnold?
Yes. Because it doesn't show up again.
Yeah, but the body looked too small in my opinion.
The pecs are pretty big. Yeah. I looked a little bit. Yeah. That's what I thought as a kid. I was like, "That's Arnold fucked up." He thought he got too familiar with the Crypt Keeper. Dude.
3 more reps, Crypt Keeper.
Nah, he can't. You can't be fucking with the Crypt Keeper. You can't be like one-upping the Crypt Keeper in his own house.
Yeah. He just walks in.
Yeah, he just walks in. The Crypt Keeper's trying to get his gain. He's trying to do his workout. Oh man. Well, anyway, yeah.
I'll tell the story. It's like, I have one job, man, and you took it.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was funny. I always did like about the Tales from the Crypt, though, is when they would introduce and you would see I would say cover art for it. I always wonder what they did with those. Like one was it actual did they actually put the tale of the comic in it? And then what did they do after? 'Cause to me, those I think would cost a pretty penny to purchase. And if I had to, I would like to try to buy the one I definitely would buy. Would be the House of Terror one.
Like as a poster.
Yeah, or just because how some animated companies will sell the cells of their cartoons and stuff. I would like to buy the actual that was in the book.
Oh yeah, you should look into it.
Yeah, but it's probably one of those that cost a few $1,000s.
Well, yeah, probably, yeah.
Yeah, but no, I think on a scale for the Tales from the Crypt and Are You Afraid of the Dark, I think Tales from the Crypt, again had these major directors behind it. That's how, because there was an episode Tom Hanks was in it, and I think it was had Tom Hanks, a famous boxer guy in it, and it was just going through this and just seeing the amount of actors, and it's wow.
Well, yeah. Well, that's the thing, man. Is that's what weirded me out so much? Is that it was this big deal, a lot of money involved, but at the same time, it was this sort of super campy thing.
Yeah.
And the thing is that nowadays, you tell me, what is there anything that exists like that? Does that kind of horror exist anywhere?
I think the only
right
thing
now,
even, comes close, and it's not even an anthology, is American Horror Story. Because because I remember hearing of was it what's her name, Pauline Shorn, who essentially was one of the main characters through she became always a pivotal role in the American Horror Story series. But it wasn't until they got Kathy Bates in it for Was it? No, it wasn't Covenant. Was she in Covenant?
I only watched the first 2 seasons, and they were pretty serious. They weren't.
Yeah,
they weren't.
I'm
really
saying for
campy at all.
horror and stuff.
Well, yeah. I mean, but did they get campier?
If you ask some, yeah, they got campier because apparently, like Coven was not well received. They thought it was honest. To me, the only one I did not like was Apocalypse. To me, that was super camp because one, yeah, America's been destroyed. There are all these apparently little outposts, and the Devil's Child is now wandering, trying to. That was to me was more camp, and I think it was also they helped reboot the series because later series like Hotel, they got Lady Gaga in it. It was But for horror, I think that's the only thing I said comes close. But to what Tales from the Crypt, I don't think we will ever get, because I know that Shyamalan wanted to do a reboot for TNT. I think it was.
Well, just that kind of blend of like horror and comedy, right? Like what is there anything around that now that does that?
I can't think of any.
I wonder why. You know what I mean?
Oh, I think it's the climate and stuff. It's you couldn't you couldn't pull some of the stuff they've said in this now, because I mean the first episode they openly said like, oh well, those weeping liberals are taking everything.
Yeah. No, it's just interesting, man. Because I've watched some. I've tried to watch a good amount of like modern horror movies, or I watch a lot. Watch a lot of the altar stuff on YouTube.
Yeah.
And it's all awesome shit, but it's very serious.
Yeah.
It's all very serious horror, like that sort of like campy shit, Evil Dead shit, like that doesn't even exist.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
it's just interesting.
Evil Dead 2 and Army of Darkness could be put into that. But yeah, no, like the remake, the new Evil Dead. Yeah, no, that's was straight up, horror.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
I didn't even. Oh, weird. That's so weird.
At least that's my view of it, and I think I won't say I probably got a weird, clouded view of it.
And Are You Afraid of the Dark? It was kind of in that same vein. Like, I mean, it was sort of. It wasn't trying to be like humor horror, but like it's just sort of is that because it's aimed at kids.
Yeah,
it's just sort of funny.
Yeah,
but even that, like, is there any sort of like?
Well, I mean, like there was the one episode in Are You Afraid of the Dark where not Disney, Nickelodeon got a lot of angry calls. It was the one where I know it's going to sound a haunted pool. It was a swimming pool that apparently was built over an Indian burial ground.
Yeah.
And at one point in the episode, this guy dumps this like a dye, and it was like nobody was expecting that.
Holy shit! I remember that. That was awesome.
Now it was like at the end, I don't think that would cause the kid who was afraid of water still stay out of the. It's like, nope, I'm not going in there. I don't want to deal with any angry spirits.
I'm not dealing with any of that. I'm
not. He's like, I'm not going to even take showers no more.
Well,
but no, there were a few episodes in the Are You Afraid of the Dark that could have left didn't have the comedy edge on it, but was pretty dark and scary. I know there was one where a girl was being haunted by like her dead aunt or her dead grandmother, like twins, her dead grandmother's twin sister or aunt. I can't remember. And it was all because this aunt would ride her horse forgot to feed these dogs, and which I can now remember how she died. I think it was because the dogs got out, scared the horse, and which kicked her off the horse, and she died, which then caused her mom to not let the girl to take horse, which caused her mom not to let her take horse riding lessons. But no, it was like there was a definitely good eerie presence about it.
Yeah, no, I believe it. Yeah, it's just kind of weird how where horror's in probably a pretty good place right now.
Yeah,
there's a lot of good horror movies, a lot of good stuff, but it's just not this. It's not this type.
Yeah,
which is just kind of interesting.
And I don't think we'll ever get this type again. Again, like I said, Shyamalan wanted to do a reboot of it. And it's like, okay, well, is he going to pull from, the old EC comics, or are they going to come up with? Is he going to come up with his own stuff?
Oh well, Shalamalama, yeah, we can't trust him anymore.
Yeah, and and it's like, well, if he's going to pull from the old stuff, it's like, just watch the old stuff because they already have it.
True. All right, well, folks, yeah, you've heard it here first. We figured it out. It was a nice run down memory lane.
Yep.
Looking at all these old things, getting flashbacks with childhood.
It is.
It was fun on this ghoulish October month.
It was for anyone out there what were your favorite episodes? Which episodes actually did scare you? I would like to hear this. So.
All right. Well, cousin, we should get out of here.
Yep.
I think we got to roll. We'll have something else for you next month, folks.
Yep.
We're not sure what yet, though.
Oh, did you?
We'll have something cooking.
Yeah. Did you ever see that? Apparently, they did a trailer for a horror movie called Thanksgiving.
No.
I think it's an Eli Roth. So basically, it's like it came from those from the Grindhouse movies he did with Tarantino. Because apparently, every movie that he did a trailer for came out as a horror movie. And the one people were screaming for was this new one coming out called Thanksgiving. And I see the trailer for it, and I generally don't know if it's a guy who's just gone crazy wearing a Thanksgiving mask or some ancient spirit. I generally don't know. I won't lie. I probably have no intention because I'm not a big fan of Eli Roth.
That's all right, though. We need more Thanksgiving movies.
Well, we got Thanksgivings.
Thanksgivings, yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah.
I don't think I could ever watch that one because I already listened to a deep dive on that. It's just like, oh my god. All right. All right. Well, thank you for joining us this October. I apologize for the delay on this because from last year. If hopefully we can, our next Halloween we'll try to if we can try to top this.
I mean, we'll be talking about Thanksgiving and We'll be doing all the Leprechaun movies. That's what we're doing.
Okay. I can't wait for Back to the Hood.
Leprechaun 17, Back to the Hood. All right.
All
All right.
right.
Well, I'm T Tizzle.
I'm Phil Nilsson. All right.